this is something really new for the Fujifilm X system. I have here a new lens for the Fujifilm X mount that is pretty compact and light for what it is. It's an ultra wide lens with a very bright aperture. So let's talk about this now. Hi there, Tudor Matescu here. In this video, I want to share with you my experience in using this ultra-wide lens, and it's a light lens from 7Artisans for the Fujifilm X mount. Also, this lens has a very bright aperture, so it is suited for astrophotography and interior photography and nighttime photography, and I even would say videography in low light environments. So this lens has the focal length of 10 mm. This means that on the Fujifilm system, you'll get an ultra-wide field of view equivalent to 15 mm in full frame terms. Now this field of view, it is very suited for indoor filming yourself, very suited for this. Also, it is suited for interior photography. It is suited for travel and landscape photography. When you want very impactful images, it is suited for architectural photography and real estate photography, I would say, because it's an ultra-wide rectilinear lens, and also the lines are very straight. So I was very pleased regarding how this lens was rendering lines. And also this lens, it's an AF lens. So this lens, it's made by 7Artisans, and it's a 10 mm lens with an f2.8 bright aperture AF lens. Now let me address a little the handling of this lens and the ergonomics on different Fujifilm bodies. It's a compact plus lens, I would say. It's not big, but also it's not small. To have a comparison, this is 35 mm f2 with the lens hood. So it is as long as 35 mm f2 Fujifilm lens with the lens hood and a little bit fat. So overall I feel it pretty compact. Again, it's not on the big side because also it is very light, and the lens weighs just 232 grams. So it's very light for an ultra wide AF lens. Also this lens has an AF and manual focus switch on the lens, very useful for an ultra wide lens when you want to control the focusing of the lens. And also this lens, it is weather sealed and it has a very nice rubber gasket at the mount. And also this lens has an USB-C for future firmware updates, very important for a Fujifilm camera or any other camera that you may use. So regarding handling and balancing with any Fujifilm camera that I've put this lens, the handling and the balancing, it's really nice, really nice. I would have wanted Fujifilm to make lenses like this size and this weight, those premium lenses. This is plastic, but this is metal, so it is a real nice build quality and build handling, really top notch for a lens like this. So in general, for ultra wide lenses, you will need to complicate your life with different filters, but this has a 62 mm filter size, so you can put 62 mm filters on the lens, ND filters, polarizer filters, and so on. So huge deal here. Also the 7Artisans lens, it's coming with a nice petal rose lens hood that is doing the job. It's made from plastic, good quality plastics, so you are fully packed regarding flare, and more than that, I would say that the coatings of this lens are very good. So testing for flare, I didn't have any problems. So regarding build quality, ergonomics, size, and how this lens is handling on any Fujifilm camera, I would say that it's 10 out of 10. It's a real amazing lens, and yes, a real great job. Now let's talk about the autofocusing of this lens. So the AF of this lens, it is pretty good. Being an ultra wide lens, for me it was very easy to maneuver and to nail focus with this lens. So no problems in general. Ultra wide lenses are easy to focus. I would not say that this is a sports lens, but when you are buying an ultra wide lens, you really buy it for making very good composition. So with this ultra wide lens, you really need to think very well at your composition, because you have lots of information in your frame. So for getting your subject in your frame, I would advise, if you want to do humanistic photography, put your subject in the middle of your frame, and also think about the foreground, about the background, and also about the borders of your frame. So you really need to think very, very well at composition. And this is another reason why would you buy a lens like this. So an ultra wide lens like this, it will really force you to think about composition. A lens like this, you don't buy to snap it. Even if you can snap it on the 40 megapixel sensor, it will resolve the details without any problems. But the idea is to make good composition. So when you will enter into that creative mind, then you will start working the lens, working the scene, and you'll be able to obtain very, very impactful pictures because of this ultra wide angle field of view. So this is the reason to choose an ultra wide lens. It's really like a 50mm lens or like a 75mm lens that it's forcing you to make good composition. You have no excuse. If you don't think about your composition with an ultra wide lens, then you will not be able to get good pictures. So a lens like this, it is forcing you to get good pictures because you have no other choice. Of course, you can snap it and crop after it, but if you force yourself a little, then you'll start making lots of great and impactful pictures. And this happened to me, and this is why I'm really liking ultra wide lenses, because I have no choice than to make the composition right. Now regarding image quality, how you're able to see till now the colors, the textures, the details. This lens, it is mind blowing. It's rendering very, very clean images, full of details, full of colors, full of contrast. The day when I used this lens, the light was very blunt, so the light was low light. I didn't have any contrast. It was a terrible day, really terrible regarding the light. But because of the Fujifilm sensor and of this glass, and also because of the Fujifilm colors, also the JPEGs were very okay. But the raw files, when I edit them with Reala Ace plus the glass of this lens plus the sensor of this X-T50, I'm really ultra impressed regarding the clean images that I've got with this lens. Very clean images, very sharp, very straight lines. So 10 out of 10 regarding image quality, I would say. But also, yes, in some situations, it is possible that this lens will have some purple fringe, will flare a little, and also at the corners, it will lose a little from the sharpness that it's very obvious in the center. But overall, I'm not feeling big problems in the corners. But if you want better information regarding the corners, check a reviewer that is looking in the corners. But for my photography, landscape photography, architectural photography, urban photography, abstract photography, street photography, I don't find any problems regarding the image quality. And because I have the AF, this is helping this lens a lot. Also, I'm sorry that I didn't get the chance to use this lens in low light environments because of the f2.8 aperture. But if I will have the chance to use it in low light environments, I will put some pictures. But overall, think that you have here an f2.8 aperture on a camera with IBIS, it will totally deliver in any low light environment. More than that, how I've said, the AF is very good, and also I've made an indoor test filming myself by hand with X-T50 and looking how the IAF was working and seeing if the lens was hunting or it was keeping me in focus. So regarding videography, for my 10-second test, again 10-second test, it wasn't any problems. The Fujifilm camera was able to keep my eye in focus. The lens didn't hunt at all, and all it was working great. So this lens, it is sure usable for videography. So if you have an XM5 and want to film yourself indoors or do all kinds of videos where you need IAF and eye tracking, I think that this lens will do the job very well. By the way, this is why I am thinking I need to buy Fujifilm X-E5, because I will have a flippy screen and it will be easier for me to test lenses like this. So getting back to this lens, now let's talk for who is this lens. So if you are an interior photographer, a real estate photographer that is using Fujifilm cameras, definitely this is a must-have lens for your Fujifilm system, because it's an ultra-wide lens with straight lines with an f2.8 aperture. So a no-brainer for interior photography. Also, it's a no-brainer for landscape photographers and also for photographers who are liking to use ultra-wide lenses, because they understand the impactful pictures that an ultra-wide lens is bringing to the table. So very important. No other lens, not a standard lens and not even a 24 equivalent lens, so a 16mm f2.8 lens will bring you such impactful images like an ultra-wide lens. And yes, from 7Artisans, we also have a 10mm lens, but it's an f3.5 aperture. It is smaller and it is manual focus. So between this and this, definitely this has a sense in your kit if you are into AF and if you want a bright aperture to do some astrophotography, to do some interior photography, to do some nighttime photography. Also, this lens, I think it's ideal for street photographers that are wanting to get ultra close to their subjects to get some impactful pictures, but also this lens, it's ultra versatile for wedding photographers. There are some wedding photographers out there that are making very nice and impactful pictures at 16mm and 50mm with the bride by using the dress and some light and getting a nice background behind the bride. So this is very useful if you want to do very impactful wedding photography. Very useful. I think it's a real must. And why I like this lens a lot, it is because of the resolution. So totally it's resolving the resolution of the 40 megapixel sensor. It is focusing okay, the images are very clear, and it's very light in my camera bag. Very important. So I'm enjoying a package like this. It's a real pleasure to take with you. Very important. So it's not a heavy lens, it's not a lens that will break your back or your shoulder. It's an easy peasy lens to take with you with another lens. So it's a real great lens to have in your kit, and it will be an useful lens because I've said, being very light, AF and f2.8, it's a no-brainer when you want to use this wide angle field of view. So totally loving this lens, totally recommending this lens. Please use my affiliate links from the comments and description to get now this lens. And also please be sure to subscribe to my newsletter, to my YouTube channel, and also leave me your comments, like this video, and what is free and is helping this channel to grow, it is to watch my next videos. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.